Hi families, it's Mrs. Hass, and I wanted to take a few minutes to go through the treasure box that we sent home with our families last week during our first meeting of our Faith and Family Formation Sunday. So the purpose of the box is it's a tool for you to use throughout the entire year, through all of your 8 months in the program. The idea is that when you pull it out, it's time for some special time together. So however you're doing your family lessons, hopefully if you have more than one child, you're doing them together. And that one person has designated to take on the lead to facilitate these family meetings. And what's in the box are items, again, to sort of identify your time together as a special time. One of the first items in the box is a prayer card. And so when you sit down to do your lessons, it's not just about the material and the content that you learn, although it's important and all of that is valuable. It's about setting up a space where you say, this is, we're going to learn about something holy. We're going to have a little bit of prayer time together, and that this is a special time. And so you would unfold your prayer cloth and set out items for prayer. So my suggestion is that you unfold your prayer cloth on a spot, on a table or a side table, and then maybe set up some of your items for prayer. Here's the little LED light in there. You can set that up. You can choose which prayer you are going to say together as a family. So in the box is a set of cards of prayers that every Catholic should know. And it would be great throughout the year if you choose a few of these to really work at, maybe memorizing, saying together as a family. I'm sure some of them you already know. But also, in addition to the prayer, on the back is some information about the prayer. Why do we say this prayer? Or even some little historical tidbits about the prayer. Of course, it's not exhaustive, but it is just a little bit more information about each of these prayers that we know and need to know as Catholics. So you can set out the prayer that you choose. There's a little wooden stand for you to set your prayer in. So for example, if your family prayer is going to be the Our Father, you set it in your little wooden stand, and you can set that on your table next to your light. And then you would begin with prayer. If you're saying a rosary, or you're going to say some of the prayers devoted to the Blessed Mother, the Hail Mary, for example, there's this little item to set up. It's always nice to sort of connect objects and visual things with our prayers. We as Catholic, we love doing that. We love depictions of saints and holy moments, and to draw us into either a scriptural moment or into our prayer. So those are ways for you to set up your holy space and begin your time together. Also in the box is this, a family prayer, as well as a pledge. So my suggestion is at your first meeting that you sit down and you read the words of the pledge together. Lord, we pledge to do our best to instruct your children, relying on your grace. And that's one of the things that I touched upon during our meeting. And so for our parents who weren't there, God provides the grace for us to do this. We are not worthy, but are made worthy through Christ to do this. And our call as the first teachers of the faith to our children. And I've said this before, that I know that when my husband and I stood at that baptismal font almost 30 years ago with our oldest child, and we made those promises to raise our child in the faith, we really didn't fully know what we were obligating ourselves to do. But through our work at it and our effort, but more importantly, through our child's openness and spirit through her exploration of faith, we ended up growing in our faith ourselves. And so our hope is that these tools and these words help you connect as a family to grow in your faith. And this little pledge gives you the opportunity for parents, or whether it's a grandparent or whoever the official adult is, in case it's an aunt or an uncle or a godparent, whoever is taking on that role of guiding your children, that you sign that and the children sign it as well. And that's your pledge. The recommendation is also that you set aside a specific time to do this every week. It doesn't take a ton of time. And so also in your box is an instruction on doing your home lesson. So how to approach it. Some little tips and tricks. Be organized, set out your prayer space, take some time to review. In the box also is this liturgical calendar. And the idea with this is just for us to be aware of the liturgical year. Each week in the liturgical calendar is highlighted here. And it starts with, it starts before our meeting started, but just a few weeks before. And the idea is to be conscious of what season we are in the liturgical calendar. We are ending cycle B. The liturgical calendar is in 3 cycles, A, B, and C. We are at the very tail end of cycle B. And then we'll begin cycle C the first Sunday of Advent. So you can display this in a place of honor, on your fridge, on a bulletin board, or you can keep it in the box. But provided with it are some gold heart stickers. So as each week passes, you can look at it and mark it with a sticker that week has passed. Another item in the box to help bring that liturgical year into consciousness of what is happening in the liturgy and why things happen in the liturgy is this Father Andrew cutout doll. Oops, I've got him upside down. Right side up, Father Andrew cutout doll. You would cut out this doll, this paper doll, and cut out these vestments and the parts to the vestments and color them in. You can see there are 4 different vestments, but then there are also the stoles that go with the vestments, the alb that goes underneath the vestments, which always stays white, and some directions on how to do that. So if it's ordinary time, you would look on your liturgical calendar, see what week we're in. So for example, we're at the 28th week of ordinary time on October 10th. That's green. And so you would dress Father Andrew in green vestments. And it's just a way, again, to keep conscious of what's happening in the liturgy and how it applies to the liturgical year and the liturgical cycle. On the back of the liturgical calendar are the gospel readings for each week. And all of the readings for the liturgical year are very easily accessible on the USCCB website, usccb.org. And you can go right there to the readings for the weekend and the daily readings, because of course Mass happens every day in the Catholic Church. So that's a tool for you to bring that liturgical piece into your home on a regular basis. Also in the box is a rosary. If you are interested in exploring saying the rosary, there are lots of tools online for saying that. There are videos also for saying the rosary with children. Or even if you just start with 1 decade of the rosary is 5 decades. If you start with 1, it's a great way to introduce that devotion to your family. There's no real wrong way to say that rosary. You don't have to say the whole thing, but just follow along with the prayers, and it's a wonderful tool. Also in the box is holy water, which has been blessed. The whole contents of the box were blessed by Father Andrew at our first meeting, but this was specifically blessed holy water. And in our family packet that I sent home for the month, the October packet, on the very last page, there's some information about blessing people with holy water. And it is something that we, as lay Catholics, have the authority to do. As parents, we have the authority to bless our children with holy water. We bless ourselves, obviously, when we come into church, when holy water is in the font. But our practice at our family has been, my husband and I, my husband would bless our children before bed. Our oldest is 29. We still have a 12-year-old at home. And so the practice now then became that we would bless our children, and then our children would bless us with the holy water. So we've long been enjoyed that little devotion of using holy water to bless our family members. You can bless yourself with holy water or your children with holy water at any time, but we did choose to do it at bedtime. So it's my hope, families, that this box is a tool for you, one that you use repeatedly month after month. And it's also a great place for you to store some of the things that the students bring home during the month. Oh, for example, one of the items was this, there's a ring in there with for the memory verses. It's got a tag on it. And so each month when your student comes home from their lesson, they will have a new card for a memory verse. And whether they're kindergarten through 4th grade, they'll have one memory verse. If they're 5th or 6th grade, they have that same verse but expanded, so a little bit longer. But this is a convenient thing so that you can keep it all together. One way that we use these kinds of things is keep them in the car. So when you're driving along, you can just pull out the memory verses and practice your memory verse. And so it's a great tool for you. And I hope that you choose to use it. And again, the box is a place for you to store items. This month, for example, one of the items that you got was a game, Who's Who in the Gospel. And that's a fun game that you will want to play again, I believe. So it's a good place to store those things. I hope you enjoy the box. I hope that they bring you many blessings, and they really are treasures that you use throughout this year as a family in your family formation. God bless you. Know of my prayers.